Jerry, have you ever noticed, like, the Breedlove guitar, the 12 strings especially, are the easiest playing 12-string guitars out there?
Yeah, it is impressive. I wish I knew how they do it. I would love to see the inside of this guitar to know what's going on.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout.
You scared the hell out of me when you got to that.
Yeah, it was a little close.
You're
not going to cut
wheel on the inside.
Welcome to the Acoustic Shoppe channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Breedlove 12 strings and specifically the Bridge Truss System, why it works for some guitars and not for others.
And just a quick PSA, no sellable guitars were injured in this. We got a C-stock guitar that was damaged at factory, so we could show you what's going on inside. All right, John, why are you covered in sawdust today?
Because Jason is an idiot and cut a guitar in my lap that I have to say I feared for my life. This was probably the closest I have come to death for any video.
It would have been good for the channel, John, so either way.
No blood yet, ladies and gentlemen. No, this is interesting. 12-string guitars are notorious for having issues with belly lifts, with neck angle changes, with all kinds of issues because there are
overbuilt too.
Yeah, and being overbuilt to try to fight the fact that there is so much pressure to be done. 12 strings are inherently difficult to make sound good and also make them so they don't explode.
And make them so they're easily playable, so that the action's not going to be crazy high or difficult to play. So Breedlove has been known for the Bridge Truss. It was something they came out with years ago, and they included it on all their guitars for a while.
And I'll go full forthright right now. I was not a big fan.
I think a lot of people, if you go on some of the forums, were not a big fan of it on a standard 6-string guitar.
I understand.
And even Tom Bedell, they went through and did some research to figure out, is this something, it is very innovative, is this something we should be putting on all the guitars? And they came to the conclusion, just like a lot of us did, that it's not necessary. It probably doesn't help a 6-string guitar, but it does have inherent qualities that are good for those issues you just talked about, the belling, the tension on a 12-string. Yeah. So they decided to keep it for the 12-string guitars and the basses to offset some of that extra tension and let them build it a little bit lighter.
Yeah. So let's talk about the good of what a bridge truss does and what it is, basically. You have this block that is actually attached to the bridge plate itself, and I hope you guys can see this.
They're going to do some close-ups.
Oh, I got you. Anyway, it's attached to here, and then there is this dowel that goes all the way back to the block. Now, that's one of the most solid sections of the guitar is the block because that's a lot of mass that they can actually hold on to. And the dowel is just there to get enough tension that if it starts to pull, it's going to stop it from doing it. It's going to keep it from angling and pushing against that. Now, in this particular one, it's awesome because it's already got some bend to it, which means for a while it had some heavy, heavy tension on it. And then there's a set screw here that helps just to get the right amount of tension. We're not trying to create a whole bunch. Now, the downside of that is it does not free up the top to move the way we want a soundboard to do so, because obviously
there's a trade-off.
It's going to dampen some of that vibration, the looseness, and inhibit some of the movement that a top is going to do. But again, a lot of old guitars, people did not take care of them, Jerry. I don't know if you know this or not,
I've
but
seen them.
We've all seen the 70s, 60s era guitars that nobody humidified, whether it's a Martin, a Guild, a Gibson, whatever it happens to be, with these huge bellies in the guitars. So they did come out with a system. There are companies like StewMac that still sell these to help those guitars, keep them, to keep them from just bellying up and kind of continuing to, blow up.
And anybody that is new to guitar, the belling is just this top here with all this tension of the bridge pulling forward with all the strings. It just starts to bubble almost right there in the middle, or grow a belly where it's no longer flat. It kind of arches up a little bit, which this isn't meant to be an arch top guitar. It's supposed to be flat. So the idea behind the Bridge Doctor or the Bridge Truss System is initially on a new one like this, it would prevent that belling. If you have an old one, it's actually supposed to help bring the belling back down and get a little bit more in control. Some of the issues that you can have with a belling guitar is because now this top is a little bit curved, the bridge doesn't have a flat space to stay glued to, and that can lead to a lot of the bridge separation going on.
Now, I do want to stop right there because one thing I think this has been a rumor that's gone around too long for a lot of guitar players, especially acoustic guitar buyers, is that any belly in the guitar is a horrible thing. It should be perfectly flat, and that is not the case. I'm here to dispel that as much as possible. The truth is, if you have a guitar that is completely flat with tension under it, it's probably not a great sounding guitar. That's just the fact. There has to be some tension.
It's like when I'm trying to hold in my belly,
yes.
I'm tense, I'm not, but when I can finally just relax, let that belly go.
You're comfortable. You get to be you.
Exactly.
You get to be
and that's
you,
what your
Jeremy.
guitar top wants. It wants to just be free, let that belly out.
I love the comparison there. That is absolutely
You guys
beautiful.
can try that at home. Squeeze it in, feel how tight
I'm doing
you
it
are.
right now. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, that's what you try to do in all the videos. But
I don't have this in front of me right now.
let it out, John.
I can't do it. I just can't. Anyway. No, so there has to be some, but you are correct. If you've got too much, the bridge wings now don't have a space to hold on to because it's usually right in that center area, right in here, right behind there. So those wings are being, they get to be flat, and yet this is kind of bellying and moving with the guitar. That could be a problem. But please don't sit there.
Don't throw away your
Anybody
guitar.
that puts their straight edge on the back end of their guitar and goes, man, this guitar is going to be ruined. That's not the case. I'm here to tell you I've got many guitars that have been around for 20, 40, 60, even 80 years, and they still have a belly in the guitar. It's okay. It's not a bad thing.
Hey guys, we want to take just one moment to thank you for watching the channel. If you get a chance, please like and subscribe. It's really helping us grow this channel
Ding the
and
bell,
our
everybody.
community.
One of the other major things that happens when we get that belly, it's not just about the integrity of the guitar, but it actually was going to change the height of the strings because, again, you're raising everying forward.
The bridge starts to tip a little bit with that.
And you're going to have a height
It's called a
difference.
cantilever.
Yeah, you're changing the neck angle to that bridge. You're also actually going to affect intonation, too, because it does kind of move it forward and a little bit out of whack. So playability, obviously, another really important thing. And when it comes to double strung, like what you're holding, a 12 string, any of these kind of things with way more pressure than normal, this is where it gets dangerous. There has never been, for most people, a 12 string guitar that is super easy to play after long periods of time, especially if you're not maintaining them. And that's why this is such an important thing for Breedlove to do, especially in this price point range.
And I think also you'll notice, and we talked about it at the beginning of the video, to counteract some of the extra stresses on a 12 string, they normally brace them a lot heavier than a standard 6 string, which is why a lot of 12 strings don't have quite the same resonance. They don't sound the same as your 6 string, even though it's doubling up the string. It's just kind of, they feel a little bit more dead. Where Breedlove, they've said that because of the truss system, they're able, and we're looking at the braces right now, a lot of those braces in the back are much deeper scalloped.
Heavy scalloped, and they're not super tall braces even in the non-scallop sections that they didn't scallop. These are probably shorter than a lot of the braces that we would see in a lot of guitars, regular 6 strings. So again, that does allow that ability to have more freedom with the top than what you would normally probably have with a 12-string guitar. So one of the other things I think that we really need to discuss about the Breedlove guitars is these are not super high-end, expensive, crazy guitars. And I think that is something that needs to be addressed. We all know that, 12 strings are one of those instruments for most people that it's not their main instrument.
Yeah.
It's not the thing that they're playing all the time. And most people don't feel they can invest the same amount of money into those. So to get something at a more affordable price point that performs at a higher performance price point, that's where I think this really kind of pays off. And, then it allows them to add stuff like this, which is really cool. I know this is really popular in a lot of Latin American music, which is the double strung guitar.
So those aren't, they're not octave strings
They're
anymore.
not octaves. So actually it's even got more tension than a standard 12 string would have because you're dealing with 2 low E strings, 2 low A strings. This is a lot of tension that is going to be put on those guitars. And now we have that coming in at a price point way below what most people would expect for something like that. Yet it's going to perform extremely well. So again, I've not been the biggest fan of the Bridge Truss, but I have to say in this instance,
I support the move
this
to
is
take it
a
away from the
space-
standard ones, but leave it on the 12 string.
I'm gonna go with you on that, Jeremy. It's a great idea. Right now, I think I am kind of sick of sitting in all of this dust right now.
You're not used to be covered in work dust, John. You don't do much of the hard labor. So this is what
Are
it's
you
like
trying
at
to
the
claim
end of
that you do?
a hard working day, John.
Is this what it is? You end like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what it would be like
All
to
right.
be in the
I hear
factory
you.
building guitars. And now you get to experience
They
it.
do this. This is how they work in there.
They got to check it. Say, did I leave my glove in there? Give me the router.
Cut it out. All right. Cool.
No, I think it is a good idea to keep it on the 12 strings. What do you guys think? What is your thoughts on the Bridge Doctor, the
Bridge Truss.
Bridge Truss system that Breedlove included on just about every model, but recently did away with, but it left on the 12 string. We'd love to hear your guys' opinion. And do you think Belly's beautiful? Yes? No? Just let it out. I'm going to get a t-shirt.
Freedom.
Just let it out.
Just let it out, everybody. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to find out more about Breedlove guitars, please check out this video right here. It's called Why Choose Breedlove, where we talk about all the cool things about Breedlove guitars and what they are doing there that makes them a great product. Check it out, and we will see you on the next video. Bye.